All right, we are heading into week 4. You have just submitted your first speech, the introduction speech, and so that's where we're going to start this week. Go and log back into Cengage Learning and find the Bongo Speech Platform tool and watch a couple of your classmates' speeches. Leave a peer review, a very positive, encouraging peer review for your classmates. You need to complete at least 3 of those peer reviews for a participation grade. And it's also a great way to further get to know the people in your class, the people who make up your own audience. And we'll talk about audience analysis this week in your chapter reading. Speaking of your chapter reading, after you complete those peer reviews, go ahead and work on your chapter work. We'll be doing 2 chapters this week, Chapter 12 on planning public speaking and Chapter 13 on researching and developing your speeches. So when you get to Chapter 12, when you get to the case study, you'll watch a video about a speech of introduction where the speaker is introducing the main speaker. A little bit different from this introduction speeches that you recorded last week. And as you analyze that speech, you'll be asked to complete 6 questions this week. I know it's a little bit more than you're used to. Number 6 is a little bit tricky. Number 6 asks you to go back to Chapter 1 and identify which model of communication is being used. And so don't forget those models of communication from Chapter 1 include the linear model, the transactional model, and the interactional model. So you'll need to know that to complete that question, as well as a key concept term from this chapter. And so you might want to use demographic audience analysis or maybe even situational audience analysis for your key concept term. Then for Chapter 13, it's all about research. You'll be looking at different types of evidence, and the case study for that chapter is a video of a speech about hurricanes. And so start thinking about what topic you might want to use for your next speech, your informational speech. What are you passionate about? Is there a local business that you like to support? What would your audience need to know more about? And we'll start approaching your next topic on the discussion board this week. So even though we're doing 2 chapters in the textbook with 2 different quizzes and 2 different case studies, you will only have 1 discussion board. Now let me remind you, the discussion board each week is how I take attendance. Since our class is asynchronous and meets online only, the discussion board is my chance to see if you are participating in class each week. So log on and submit your thread by Wednesday, and then return to the board if needed by Saturday to leave your replies to get full credit. And you need to do that each week. You cannot make up the discussion boards because they are interactive, and your classmates won't be on last week's board, they'll be on this week's board. So stay current, stay up to date on those, and make sure that you communicate with me if you have problems so that we can stay up to date on your coursework. And so I will see you on the discussion board this week. It will be a very practical board as we prepare for your next speech.